Welcome to our brand where our travelers simply glow. So, oh yeah, I keep trying to make sure that y'all can hear everything. I'm always nervous that y'all can't hear everything else that's going on. But okay, so GTT. So our glow ticket topic tips for the day. We're getting ready to get into those. Are going to revolve around love. Okay, so being in love and being very young is also another sign of what sometimes it looks like or it can look like, because love in above itself is a journey, and it starts, like I said, at a rather young type of age, which is not always some of the most easiest things for people to do and understand. And nonetheless, you have to deal with necessarily getting older at such a young age, which revolves around puberty, having to realize, like, I first got my menstrual cycle. That's like so young at that particular point in time. If you subscribe, I'll give you a secret. It was when I was in 6th grade. So subscribe. Please and thank you. All right. So good afternoon, good evening. Here where we're at in Ohio, it's finna be 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna go with good evening or late afternoon as well. So, and there were many failures. I mean, there were times where I didn't even get this person the second lick of the day. I just always assumed that they were just too beneath me or too poor or just too out of my element, to that point where I just wasn't interested. I didn't even allow myself to even entertain those thoughts and interests whatsoever. And then that led to other people thinking that it was okay for them to shoot their shots. And it's not even nothing like that. But it's really nothing that you can do about it at that point in time, because I mean, we're not together, but it's always about how young, and I really think of nobody else in that similar light. So it's almost like we can, but it's going to necessarily defeat the purpose, because you'll never be what that entity was. And that's where some of the failures that I'm mentioning come in that. So BMs are horrible. Yeah, that's true. It kind of reminds me of Napoleon Hill, and he has where you actually have to take great care with actually picking your significant others. It's not, thank you for the like, it's not easy to find someone who you really mesh well with. Hi. But nonetheless, when you are actually really focused on doing that, you really will notice that won't nothing else really kind of sort of get in your way, but to a certain extent. And that's a good thing. That's what you want. That's a positive. So family members, again, as I mentioned earlier, can be a part of some of the reasons why some things go kind of as horribly as they can. And so just be wary of that. Kind of sort of be careful and be kind of watchful and mindful of who you have around you, even family members. Haters and rumor starters. I've realized that sometimes you can experience people who are not that happy that you found someone, and that's what I mean by haters. Since they're not happy that you all may have a certain thing going on, they can be a little bit spiteful and kind of sort of scheme against, in that sense, how you all separate. So be mindful. And they can do this tactic with their words, which is how rumors are started, via word of mouth. So you always want to make sure that our tongues are not damaging each other, one another. You always want, thank you for the likes, thank you for the views, I appreciate it. And so just like just be mindful. I found the lady who did a tarot reader. She was so cool. And I was trying to figure out how to figure out what these rumors were. And she kept it, well, the person at the time was just assuming, I guess, that it was females. And that was odd. I have had some tribulations with different females, if that helps. But then you have other females who've just been really sweet too. So I don't know. Let's just take everything with a grain of salt. Okay, so to rehash and recap with the glow ticket topic tips for the day, where when it comes to dealing with love, realize that it can start very young. If you are a young person and you really want to figure out what some of your love skills are, don't be fooled and thinking that it's only for the older entities and you can only do it once you old, like though they got the most clout. Like, just don't ever let yourself fall into that trap. There will be failures along the way, so please don't think everything's going to be on easy street, that nobody's going to be mad at y'all for having a genuine love, because you're just going to set yourself up for failure, because they are necessarily upset that you are actually finding a type of love that's of a benefit. So please don't ever think anything otherwise. And then BMs, if you allow yourself to kind of sort of entertain other thoughts, you might have to suffer penalties. And penalties are a way for us to wake up. That's really all that it is. I mean, whether we choose to change or not, is it'll be again a personal decision. And watch out for family members as well. Family members are not always as close to us for positive reasons. Sad but true. So you always want to just be mindful. They can even attack some of the things that you care about most, even in your love life. And then you will have people who are not that happy that you actually found someone. So you always want to kind of sort of keep those instances in mind as you kind of sort of figure out what you want to do with this particular person. And then you're also going to realize that you're going to have people who will start rumors. And it's probably just a tactic and a scheme to get kind of sort of your mind off of who it is that you chose to kind of sort of build whatever it is that you're looking forward to building with. So when it comes to dealing with things like that, just kind of sort of keep an ear to what's being said, but also take it with like, oh, okay, is this true or not? Because you don't never really know. So you don't want to lean either way without being 100% certain. Okay. So that's all the tips that I have for y'all today for the glow ticket topic tips for the day. I'll see y'all again Thursday as well, and we'll get into it there on the 24th. So we're going to deal with different colors and things like that. So the colors are going to be ways to kind of figure out whatever your moods are so that you can kind of sort of be mindful about that. And other than that, I'm thankful that y'all are watching. And, you know, if you had any other questions and whatever else, you know, I'll see y'all again a little bit later on. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye-bye.